dev stream. Dev stream. It's been a while. I've been just just so busy. Just busy beyond belief. Let me go ahead and announce the dev stream. Gonna be one of those slow to announce ones because it's gonna take me so long to figure out where my dev stream announcement is. It's been weeks. It's been almost an entire month. Oh well, these things happen. Getting some reports of issues on Ennuicastr on Firefox. So I suspect, and I haven't tested this recently, but I suspect that something changed upstream in Firefox. And I additionally suspect that this might be like the Firefox that's built into Debian, which would be quite outlandishly out of date. I don't remember if I guess I can check. Stop popping up over things. Yeah, this is just the default Firefox. That is not going to be new enough, but I will see if maybe. I mean, well, yeah, the last because Ennuicastr has been pretty stable recently, so I haven't done a lot of like testing every platform, and if Firefox sort of changes out from under me, then there we are. So let me go ahead and get back to the main branch. And unfortunately, it's of course also quite possible that I will go through this and discover that actually it's working just fine in my configurations, and it's just something that's happening in other people's configurations, which will be even more annoying to deal with. Okay. By the way, if anybody's concerned, the fact that this image doesn't load is fine. That's just a trademarked image that isn't in the open source code, and therefore in the just quickie open source build I put there, it's not visible. That's nice and fast. Use the world's cheapest dev server. Okay, that's... I should, like, fix it so it doesn't give that error, but it doesn't actually matter. Fine. Testing, testing. Yeah, okay, so here... I can't hear myself over the music I'm listening to. Wait, testing, testing? Wait. Is this not working? I feel like I only hear one of myself. Let me, testing, testing. That direction, I think it was just so perfectly aligned that I couldn't tell. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Yeah. Okay. It is coming through in both directions. Okay, let's get a newer Firefox and see if that's angry. Just out of curiosity, what version of Firefox am I running? Mozilla Deb. 138. Is that new? Is that old? I have no idea. Thanks for not showing a version number. And let me guess, I'm going to click this and it still won't show a version number. 143. Yeah, 143 is definitely a higher number than 138. And I, of course, have already done this. Look at that. The version I've got sitting around in here is newer than that. Gonna get rid of the old version I've got lying around. Let me close this so as to not confuse myself. We love keeping you safe. Okay. Now, I'm going to give it like a 80% chance of working here, and if it does, then I'm going to have to go try it on Windows and see if I can like replicate an issue there. If that is the case, then obviously I'm not going to be able to really show what's going on in Windows, which will be unfortunate. Testing, testing. Boy, that works perfectly. Let me do a mute just to make sure that it's going both directions. Testing, testing. Wow, it is... I mean, I guess this is connecting to myself, but it is pretty impressive how exactly on top of each other they are. Okay. So this is definitely with, yep, nice new fresh Firefox. Okay, I guess I'm just gonna have to check Windows or something. So let me get onto my Windows machine and see if I can replicate any issues. Cool, I can't copy that link. Very cool, I love it. This is how you do a clipboard when you have a complicated virtual machine set up. I am on my Windows machine. I am opening up Firefox. I am about to sneeze. There it goes. I am pasting in the URL. Windows Firefox is that's the name my parents gave me. Windows Firefox. That's me. That'll do. Allow. That'll do. Allow. Ooh! That's nice and catastrophic. Okay, well, I can replicate the issue. Yeah, this isn't coming through for you. Just to melt your brains a bit, I'm going to go ahead and set this up so you can hear it. There you go. Isn't that pleasant? Isn't that a lovely sound? It's just like a mess. That's really surprising. So Firefox on Windows is producing an absolute, like, cacophony of madness. I wonder if they botched their, I wonder if they botched their, what the things are called, audio worklets. I wonder if they botched their audio worklets. Unfortunately, that's a bit difficult to check because that's like in WeSound that is in RT on Wii that is in on Ennuicastr. I guess I can cheat and just modify it directly within this. Oh wait, no. I can do much better than that. Oops, that's not actually what I wanted. I want the squeeze out. Whoop, whoop, whoop. That's not what I wanted either. Oh, create audio capture. I'm so sorry. Yeah, what's within this? Create audio capture. Let me remind myself how this works. Back in my comfortable home of Firefox. That takes options. The options are undocumented because I'm cool that way. Actually, hey, there we go. They're quite documented. The most likely to work is script processor, the ancient script processor. So let's just force it to use script processor. Cool. I just opened index dot. That's a file. I think that my default on Firefox is, I guess I can check what the default is. Audio capture. Yeah, I guess, yeah, it definitely doesn't, ooh. Maybe maybe they added media stream track processor and it's just an absolute clusterfuck. Yeah, I thought that I actually had a, like, specific browser selection here, but I guess I just, fall through. I don't think that I have reported in any way which one I actually ended up using, so I might have to do that. Ah, here's index dot. I wanted to, oh, I already have that, okay. That math.random is what I was looking for. Just wanted to make sure that it's loading, that it's not caching. Okay, back to my Windows machine. Again, I can't show you this whole process because I don't have it set up to share my Windows machine, but this is just loading the client. So theoretically, this should force it to use the ancient script processor style. And maybe it does, but it's just getting nothing now. Am I using the correct input? No. Whoa! Okay, well that, I mean, it sounds terrible, but it's because it's a terrible mic. So, whatever audio input it found no longer works on Firefox. Thanks a lot, Firefox, you bastards. What's the quickest way for me to check this? I can check for the presence of media stream track processor, and if that's there and it's broken on Firefox, and that's an easy fix. I'm so glad that this is just like Firefox broke something. I don't like when it's I broke something. Media stream track processor? No. Okay, so it's definitely not using media stream track processor because it doesn't exist. I'm going to mute this because it's driving me insane. Media recorder dot is type supported video x matroshka codex equal PCM. False. Okay, so it shouldn't be using that either, which means, God, it was using audio worklet processors, and audio worklet processors are just utterly broken. And if that's the case, then I'm stuck with script processor, I think. Let me quickly go through my list. Wow, that sucks. That absolutely sucks. Hello, Joey. You do have AI prompt control if you are interested in it. So its preference is media stream track processor if that's available. If that's not available, then it only prefers media recorder. Well, I'll bet util.bug prefer media recorder PCM is Chrome. Yeah, is Chrome and not is Android. Fine. And then it yeah, I mean, these are the only options I've got. Oh dear, am I gonna have to turn off script processor for Firefox? That sucks. So this is nowhere now. Audio worklet processor should not be loading on any system. Because Chrome will load this. And Safari won't use this, and Firefox won't use this, so they'll both fall through to there. Firefox, why? Oh, it makes me very angry. Oops. Audio capture. I'm going to just document this entire decision-making process in greater details. This is the Commodore 64 font, Joey. How dare you think it's a Tandy? A lame Tandy when its true Commodore 64 glory is on display. Oh, wait. Wow, so both of these are only... Yeah, of course, media recorder is only for media streams. Yeah, okay. So I misremembered the cases. This will actually never happen right now. Yay! Wow, that was quite a way for you to line that up there, Vim. What an interesting choice for you to make there. Okay. Make sure that compiles, and then do a git pull and realize that I have not been working on the latest version. Look at that, I was working on the latest version. Stick an angry face in my git log because I'm angry. Okay, this is going to be a bit of a complex process while I go release WeSound and then upgrade RT on Wii, and then release RT on Wii, and then upgrade on Ennuicastr, and then release on Ennuicastr. This is dependencies within dependencies. Unfortunately, the release part happens elsewhere, so once again, nothing visible for you to see here. Okay. This is now 128. Release 1.2.8. Building. Publishing. Okay, and now go into RT on Wii. And 128, at least 128. And same nonsense while I release RT on Wii. Now 0.8.4. going to quickly paranoia check that it did in fact get the right version of WeSound. Yes, it did. Then 0.8.4 of RT on Wii. Get rid of this. Yes, that is all RT on Wii and WeSound version stuff. And then because this is to fix a bug and it only affects one browser, this is actually a case where I'm just going to straight up publish this. I'm going to be bold in editing. So if you'll give me just a moment. Again, this has to happen on a different screen. I am going to bump the Ennuicastr version and just build it with the new version of RT on Wii and call it good. And then I'll probably publish about doing so, and do an announcement on Twitter and Mastodon and all the places, and Discord after this dev stream, which I guess I don't know what I'm going to dev stream now because I just fixed the problem. Well, okay. I will finish that humming thought in a minute. I have several Mastodons. I own many, many Mastodons. Ennuicastr has a Mastodon, and I have a personal Mastodon. But I'll be honest, I only post, like, stream announcements, so not supremely exciting. Version bump. Okay, I have published that. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break, and then I will hem and haw at you. Be right back. Got a good view of my fat body through AI, whatever AI did to it there. Okay, so let me hem and haw here. The way that I actually was notified of any issue is people are saying they had an issue with Firefox, so they switched over to Chrome, and it mostly worked, but then they had the occasional like gap or cutout or something like that on Chrome. And a gap or cutout is extremely bad. So, what do I do? uh, can I remember? The default. Yeah, clearly I had media recorder as the default. It seemed to be causing issues, so I added fallback so that if it was dropping data with the PCM media recorder, I could switch to Opus and hope that wouldn't drop data. And then, obviously, that didn't fully work, and so, God, 2023, that long ago? I mean, who knows? It must have entirely changed. That's been 2 years, more than 2 years, because it's now September 2025. But something broke. But given that this is the last time that I changed how Chrome works, maybe it's time to like go through all the options on Chrome and just see what's the least broken. The problem is I need to be able to do this, period. I need to be able to do this without like the solution being me talking into a microphone for hours and hoping that something goes wrong. So I might need to like set up a simple like loop that I don't want it to be a continuous sound because I don't expect to be able to record continuous sounds correctly. It has to have the occasional gap so that it can do the like timing adjustment. But yeah, I think what I'm going to need to do is set up a few Chromuses, all receiving the same sort of sample audio, and just set it up so like one of them is using Media Stream Track Processor, one of them is using Audio Worklet nodes, one of them is using Media Recorder PCM, one of them is using Media Recorder Opus, one of them is using Script Processor. I believe I have now listed all of the possible options, and just like let it record for hours and then come back and see what's up. And preferably I would do this on Windows because everything that seems to break on Windows. I'm living in this bizarre timeline where audio on Linux is good and audio on Windows is terrible. Which is only a joke to anybody who's been using Linux for as long as I have. Audio on Linux is what we call a big fat joke. How do I want to do this? So I need... The real problem is like I need both a test sound and the ability to check how good I was against the test sound. I guess I could just like subtract the recordings from each. No, because they're not going to be so perfectly aligned that they just subtract. Boy, I'm running low on options. No, you know what I need? What I need is a test bed for doing this that is not based on Ennuicastr. I need to just use WeSound to do this, remove 70 layers of madness, and see how WeSound can handle the problem. So I do have a demo. Unfortunately, none of these demos quite do what I'm going to need. What I'm going to need is to, like, save it to a FLAC file. libAV. That's an ancient version, isn't it? Doesn't really matter, but... Yeah, it's so ancient that it's just the libAV.js package, which is meaningless if you don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah. I presume I needed this. Oh, of course, for the media recorder. Yeah, okay. So libAV is required. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Okay, anyway. libAV is required, so let me go ahead and uninstall it. I don't remember how I named this. I don't remember how I named this. Oh, of course, yeah. I forgot that NPM does it that way. What is in the default variant? Opus, FLAC, WAV. That'll be enough. Then I want to say that the variant, I demand the exact version so that the demos can just refer to it by version. And specifically, that's going to be node modules, libAV.js, variant default, dist, libAV 6880. Boy, that's a much newer version than 4560. 6880 default.js. That'll do. Oops, that won't do. Theoretically, this should no longer be necessary. I might verify that while I'm building the rest of this tool, which looks like I'm probably not going to have time to do much of that today, but we'll see what I get to. Tone. Does this... Oh, I guess I just directly... Yeah, I just directly produce a tone, so there's no libAV there. Okay. Forgot to save this one. There we go. Okay, back to recording. So... I, of course, have to get the thing. I'm just going to capture. There's no play method. Not going to create a playback. Create the resampler. Oh, of course, yeah. That was more necessary then. If I'm just saving to Am I just gonna save to a wave? Yeah, let's just save to a wave. It'll be a float wave, so it's absolutely ludicrous and huge, but it'll work. Yes, I need to use no worker. Uh, oh, damn it. I need like a streaming download. This is annoying. I've got one of those somewhere. Might be under Ennuicastr. Download stream, yeah. Oh, God, that's right. It works that way. Oh, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks. Is there any even vaguely clean way to do this? For the time being, I only care about Chrome, so I could just use its own native file saving capability. Show file picker. Show open file picker. Show save file picker. Window dot show save file picker. Unfortunately, while I do have auto completion, it doesn't work within JavaScript within HTML. So. Start in downloads. Suggested name out.lav. Bizarre format. A genuinely bizarre format. Okay, whatever. I'll just assume that the file handle is fine. Right, now I need to know how the file handle works. Since this requires transient activation, I will do this in this order. In fact, I will do this in here, here, maybe? Is that transient enough for you? And this returns file system file handle, which then you have to create a writable. Oh, as I say, there's no close? Yes, there is. Close. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Seek to position, and then write this buffer. Create FF. Init muxer, that's what I'm looking for. Oh god, I need a stream context first. Here's the real question. Why am I doing this? Period. Why am I doing this using libavy.js? I don't think, given that this is just a WAV file, that it's even worth the trouble. What I should do is just remember what a WAV file header looks like and just write it myself. Ew, you're not zero indexing? Ew, that's disgusting. That's 4 bytes, you idiot. Okay, I definitely don't trust this documentation since it doesn't know how to count to 4. Save me, McGill. There we go. Is there like a uint8 array from an array? Can I do that? Let's find out. Yes, yes I can. Mildly shocked by that. Fill this in later. Okay, format code. Should just be PCM. Number of channels. We're going to say 1. Samples per second. Is it conceivable? Yeah, any more would be greater than... Okay, well, you can be greater than 65536, I suppose. Fine, I'll do this the right way. I was going to be lazy. I was going to just always set the high bits to 0. Average bytes per second. That's just going to be 4 times the sample rate, right? How very stupid. Unclear why you would need to do it this way, or whatever. How has this gotten confused? Why does it think that, no, I just needed to scroll my cursor over there, and then it was fine. Oh, I see. It's calling this blocks. So that means a single block with 1 channel at float 32, yeah, is 4 bytes. Add an extra comma in there. Bits per sample. How is that distinct? Oh, come on. Blocks per second. Every block has to be 1. Oh, every block. Okay, this is so redundant. Every block is as many bytes as are in. You know what? Here's the way to really do this. I just need to make an example PCM32, float 32 audio file. Something like this. Wait. Yeah, no, it's not something like that. Wait, here it is. PCM F32LE. Wait, I'll bet this was stereo. 1 channel, please. Okay, there's wave format. The chunk size of this, which I'll figure out later. The format tag is FEFF? Oh, curious. I guess float is an extensible format. Good thing I checked. Okay. Number of channels is 1. Then comes the sample rate. Let me do some arithmetic here. PP80, yeah, okay, so this is 48K. And then the next one is data rate, whatever that means, so that should just be that times 4, right? 2EE, yes, okay, so I was right about that. And then the next one is the data block size in bytes, which is indeed 4. I was right about that. And then bits per sample, which is 32 bits per sample, of course. So I was even right about that, even though I didn't trust myself. Right, and then size of the extension, because this is an extended format. 0 or 22, which I assume in hex is 16. Yeah, okay. This is just infuriating. Extension size. Oops. Valid bits per sample, all of them. They're all valid bits. I'm just going to throw some invalid bits in there. You figure it out, fucker. Position mask. This must just be like, oh, it's the center speaker. Yeah, fine. That's bytes. DW channel mask. Genuinely infuriating. And then a GUID, including the format code, which is for this apparently 300000010. Or 16 0. 3000016 0. I think that's right. Yes, I do know my hexadecimal base 16. Duh. Okay, and now I should be able to fill in this. It should be the same as in this file I just made. 28, which is something, which is 28, thanks, which is 40. Okay. Now, after that, the data starts at some point, but there's this useless fact chunk here, which shouldn't be relevant. Does that come where I expected it to? What's this? There's like there's junk here that I don't have. What's the junk? What's the junk? You know what, I'm gonna figure this out later. Yeah, but this is gonna be how I'm gonna have to test this. So yeah, we're gonna do like the full round of testing because I've had the same stuff working on Chrome for like 2 years. So who knows what's changed.